Can we as a collective community please take a step back and ask the important question? How in the hell is the show Chillin' in Another World with level 2 super cheat powers, I remembered it this time, episode 3 specifically this good? This show, by all rights, should have crashed a little bit by now. Because, for me personally, I may be isekai trash, but the Chillin' in Another World kind of subgenre, and it's not really a subgenre, but there is a formula that a lot of these quote-unquote Chillin' in Another World series like to do. And to me, they're usually boring as hell, or they're a harem mess. Like, that's like usually the two big things. Either there's a shit ton of women who just go nowhere and are just there to dot on the MC, or it's just, I don't know, I find it boring. It's like a farming simulator, I don't know. And then this show comes in and is the harem killer. I mean, yes, was there a harem bait in this episode? Of course, this mage tried to put on the ring that our main character gave to her to increase her mana, and she was going to slip it on the ring finger before Fenris came in and said, if you put that on, I'm gonna kill you. And she meant it. And that's the funny thing about this show, is that it legitimately doesn't allow a harem to happen. Will a couple of people surrounding him think maybe he's a hot stud that they wouldn't mind being with? Of course. The same way reality is like that for married men and married women. But the thing is like an actual spouse, we don't let that shit slide and then they're forced to go live their own life. And as it's confirmed by source readers, these characters, anyone who's actually around him, will have their own lives, or their own relationships. That's fantastic, so that's already a bonus point right there. But then you add in the chilling aspect. What did they actually do this episode with the knights and our couple? They trained? If you could say that's training. They basically pulled a Scooby-Doo, and as soon as they saw the ghost, they got the hell out of Dodge. And our boy had to clean up the mess, basically. It's fantastic. And they cooked. So definitely chilling. Pretty casual life for them. And the knight, the hero, right, keeps trying to recruit him over, and he keeps saying nah. And Fenris's old pal continues to come in to try to mess around and find out, and we casually one-shot the most powerful dragons in the Demon Lord's army. It's an actual romance that's going to build. It's not a harem. There's actually a lot of chilling in another world vibes with this, like, I don't know, like just innocent atmosphere. But then there's actually like your typical isekai stories happening in the background, but the MC's so disconnected from it that if you try, he'll literally throw a hoe, and I'm not talking about no prostitute, into the air, enhance, and it will one-shot your dragon cavalry. It's, I am actually in disbelief with how good the show is. Full live reactions over on my Patreon if you want to see my full and cut thoughts. They're over there if you're interested. I mean, legitimately, it's a different experience, but anyone who followed me when I was covering my instant death ability know how in disbelief I was that a show like that quickly became like my favorite isekai of that season, right? Because it was just so fun. And while yes, these are two very different experiences, I'm in a similar sense of disbelief of like, how? Like, I thought I knew what to expect, because here's the thing, a lot of, like, English-speaking anime fans hate the fact that anime names are so insane, like, Chilling in Another World with level 2 super cheat powers. They're like, why can't they make it shorter and to the point? It's actually a studied thing. The longer your title is and more detailed your title is, the more it sells, especially with light novels. Like, it's a trend. It works because you don't have to read the back of the book. It just tells you what you need to know. And it makes sense. It does. Do we get some stupid ass names because of it? Of course we do. But it is a proven trend for fantasy, reincarnation, isekai stuff. It works, especially in the light novel field. And the idea that a show that you should know what to expect because it's in the freaking title. Casual life, not gonna have to take it seriously, probably gonna be a harem because that's usually how Chillin' in Another World series goes. Level 2 super cheat powers are gonna be busted, and probably very generic production. Honestly, production of the show is pretty solid, I'm not gonna lie. Like, they don't have like a lot of animation for attacks because our guy kind of one-shots things, but when it's there, it's pretty interesting. Not a harem, actually building a genuine relationship. Like, Fenris and him are adorable. Like, for him, it's like, this is a stranger that's like, this was supposed to be a fake thing, and, you know, he's kind of just going with the flow, but he's not a weirdo being like, oh, just because someone's hot in front of me and is saying she's my wife, I'm gonna go stick my dick in crazy. Like, he's actually being logical about his reasoning about things. But yeah, he's you know, he's starting to like being around her, of course. And the group of knights, while definitely not talented in the grand scheme of things, I like their vibes and what they're offering for the cast. And then the whole cooking, like, I mean, both Shion or Mio from either Slime or Tsukimichi got nothing on Fenris. She went from raw cooking and blowing up the whole building to serving a pretty nice dish, all things considered. I think it's pretty funny because you have, like, this hero who was selected over our boy, who's, you know, just living a life of luxury. I can't say I blame him, but he continuously is like, this guy's strong, I'll come recruit him, and he's like, nah, I'm good. Eventually he's gonna come there himself, and he's gonna, you know, mess around and find out, and it's gonna be glorious to see him get humbled. But it's funny because essentially what our boy's doing, he's like, hey, I've never seen a dragon. That's pretty cool. Anyone want to cook some dragon for dinner? It's just like, he's not evil, he's humble, he's sweet, and just, there's something about the Centro 2 and the disbelief that characters will have on their face, and the fact that you can I thought, you know, eventually this would be a thing. That people from Fenris' side would probably try to take revenge, or they would see her with him. Very quickly, didn't matter. And they chose two of the most perfect voices for both Fenris and this woman because it's perfect casting. It just makes those personalities and dynamics so good because most of the time Fenris is adorable and sweet. And then when she gets into her serious voice, it's like, oh, here we go. It's just, this is like the perfect definition of a fun isekai with no red flags. Is it revolutionary? Is it trying to reinvent the wheel? Or is it doing the craziest things I've ever seen? Absolutely not. But do I think it's perfect for what it's trying to be? 100%. This is as far as you can be from so bad it's good. This is just a legitimately great show to watch if you enjoy a more simplistic story hook of a guy honestly chilling in another world, shit's happening around him, he will get roped into things, but as we see, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity of you being like a knight, essentially, if you accept this, he says, nah, I'm good, because he doesn't want to hurt his girl's feelings, because she's a demon. Like, why would he go out his way to go hunt demons, right? It's just, I can't believe, it's actually getting better, and honestly, like, well, sure, if you're looking at carryovers and sequels, I'm going to pick a Tsukimichi or Mushoku Tensei over a show like this. But if we're looking at brand new stuff, I'm pretty sure this will be my favorite isekai I'm watching this season. But it's just me. Let me know what you thought of episode 3. We are now 3 episodes in. We have a great idea of what to expect. And honestly, I think I'm just going to be more impressed as these episodes go on. But let me know what you're feeling down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new around here. Of course, ring that bell so you know if I want to upload more. And like I mentioned, we got those full live reactions over on my Patreon. And hey, while you're over there, I'll also give you a video shout out. So today, we have Ryuki, Beatrice, Isaac Farnsworth, Zuda, Jonathan Bromelo, Purple Kush, and FCCL. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care and have a good one.